Inshallah, today we will take a lab about EBS. So we will open AWS from here, from a student account. I'm recording the session, so if you want to refer it to it at any time, okay, so you can go home and try it, okay? So this is my account, student account. Okay, actually today we will work on both of the courses at the same time. So if you don't register to any one of them, you tell me I can add you to both of the courses. So we need both of them actually, because some of them has limited resources. One of them has limited resources, which is this one. So I'm going to use the other one. Okay. So I will open this for the module instructions. We will go to module number 7, I think. Yes, module number 7, and then working with EBS. So we will open this working with EBS, and we will see what is required. These are the instructions working with EBS. So we need to create an Amazon EC2, and then we attach an EBS volume to it, and then we take a snapshot of it. Okay. So EC2, I told you about, this is just a virtual machine, and we need, whenever we need to create a volume or storage, we have to attach it to a specific instance. We cannot create volume and leave it in the air, like hanging in the air. We have to put it inside an instance, okay? Also the snapshot is like a backup. We can take a backup of the storage. So we will create an instance, then attach an EBS volume to it, and then create a snapshot to it from it. And we will be able to log in to the instance, log in remotely to the instance, and control and configure, and even format the hard drive. This is the screen. We will use it for the instructions. So if we forget anything about the instructions, so I will refer to it from here. And where we will do the lab, actually, we will do it in the other course. So you have to click here and open the Learner Lab. And open modules and Lab Learner Foundational. And then start lab. And wait until it works, connected. Takes time. Okay, so mainly in this lab, we will do the following activities. We will create an Amazon EBS volume. And before creating an Amazon EBS volume, we are going to create an instance, by the way, because we will not work on this lab, on this exact lab. We will work on our, the other course resources. So it doesn't have here, it has, but we will not be able to install third party, it will not work in HCT. That's why I'm not going to use the same course. I'm going to use the other course. So here we will cover create an Amazon EBS volume. Then we attach that volume and mount it to the EC2 instance and create a snapshot of your volume. And this step is important because if you need to make a backup of your data, so you have to make a snapshot. And then create a new volume from your snapshot. So the snapshot contains a backup of the data, so we can create a volume from it to retrieve our data. And finally, you attach the mounted new volume to your EC2 instance. This is the last step we will do. So this is the objective of our lab. We are going to create, alaikum salam. We are going to create an EBS volume. We attach it to an instance, and then create a snapshot, and then create a volume from the new snapshot. Returning back here takes a long time. I don't know why. عشان ما فيش الريسورسز بتاعة اللاب دي، مش في برنامج اهو. هجيب لك اسم البرنامج اللي اسمه باتي. البرنامج اللي اسمه باتي ده مش في الماك مش هينزل، وهيغلبك في الويندوز. واصلا هنا الكليه عامله فلتر، عامله فاير وول. عليكم السلام. عامله فاير وول، فكل سنه احنا بنيجي عند اللقطه دي ونقف. فانا يعني لقيت طريقه ان انا اتجنب حكايه الفاير وول دي، واتجنب ان انتوا تعملوا انستليشن للباتي، عشان هو يعني بيحصل له فلتر في HCT. فهو البرنامج هو هتلاقي فيه خطوه من الخطوات هنا. لو انت قريت بالظبط هتلاقي فيه خطوه هنا اهي: connect to your Amazon EC2 instance. Windows user will do something, Mac users will do other thing, and it doesn't work with Mac users. And even if it works, it will not work in HCT because they have a firewall. It is blocked. That's why I have to use the other one, this one. Okay? So open the AWS. We open the AWS. The first thing to do is to create an instance, because we don't have an instance. This is empty resources. We don't have anything. Just create an instance. So we will go to the services, go to the compute, go to EC2, and create an instance. How many instances we have? I think I created previously, but I removed all of them. I removed all of them with the reset button here. So at any time, if you already made the lab before and you want to clean it, you can return back to the lab from AWS Academy and reset. Press the reset button. It's going to remove everything from here. It's going from here.
Oh, okay.
After you start the lab, this is going to be green colored, so you can open AWS from here, and then services, compute, and then EC2, and you will find the instances running. We don't have any instances. This is 0. We don't have instances. You click on the instances and create a new instance by pressing launch instance. As we have seen before, this is very straightforward. It's just a small steps. We have taken long time in this lab, but we don't need too many options to create an instance. The first thing is to create a name. So say my EBS instance, my EBS computer. Okay, my EBS computer. This is the name of the instance. And then we select the default of the type of the Linux, okay, and then also the volume to be or the type to be free tier, and then going down, don't change anything. Just keep it here. This is the most important step, which will help us to avoid using PuTTY, which is selecting VOC key. Selecting VOC key. And then after selecting VOC key, you have to click edit for the network. You can leave everything default, no need to select anything, but the most important thing is create security group, call it my EBS security group. And then the same thing, create it here, my EBS security group. And then remove the rules from here. You have to remove the rules from here because you can control it in a different way. So you remove the rules of the firewall and then go down for 8 gigabit. No change, no other changes. I think this is the summary, and launch instance. Finally, launch instance.
خلاص الانباد security group.
ها؟
الانباد security group خلاص ولا لا؟
ريموف، هتلاقي فيه ريموف، شيلها بس اعمل لها اسم، يعني ما تنساش تعمل لها اسم. If we go to instances here, we will find the instances running, but it's still pending. But anyway, we need to go to the security group from the left-hand side because we want to connect to this instance remotely. So we have to open the traffic using the security group. So you open the security group from here. Do remember the name, because we have given a name for it. This is my EBS, and then click on it. And then from down, we have inbound rules. You click edit inbound rules, and then add rule. And then from the list here, you select HTTP. And from custom here, everywhere or anywhere IPv4. Also add another rule for the HTTPS. Not to be blocked from هو في SSH انا شايلها.
انا عندي هنا حاط لي، انا بعدي في اللونش توني عند
شيل ريموف، اعمل ريموف قبل ما تعمل لونش، اعمل ريموف للسكيورتي جروب.
خلاص سوي داونلود الحين.
اعمل لونش للانستنس.
الكونفيجر ستورج اعدل ولا اخليه؟
لا، سيب كل حاجه زي ما هي. اخر خطوه ان انت تسمي السكيورتي جروب بس عشان تبقى عارفها. اوكي، بعد كده add rule. We have SSH and from anywhere IPv4. So we have to add these three: HTTP, HTTPS, and SSH. Without them, you will not be able to log into the instance remotely. So save rules. And we have here the three rules in the security groups. We'll return back to instances. You will find the instance is ready and running. You have the instance running or pending, right?
Running.
Okay. You go to the security groups, okay? And then you find the security group here. You have named it. You click on it. And then you have inbound rules and outbound rules. You make sure that it's selected inbound rules. You will not select it, but make sure that it's selected inbound rules. And then edit inbound rules. And then you add the rules, the three rules: HTTP, HTTPS, and SSH. By the way, it should be the first one. I don't know how to change the order. Okay. There's no change of the order. No problem. No problem. Okay. SSH, HTTP, and HTTPS. Okay, now the instance is ready. How to make sure that we can connect to the instance? We go to the instances from the left hand side. We have the instance here. You select the instance and make sure that we can connect to the instance by copying this address. Don't copy it now, just make sure that it's appear here and go to the lab, learner lab. Okay, here you will find how to connect to an instance by SSH. You go to and select, I think SSH access to EC2. Just
Should we
click on
name
it.
the instance also?
Huh?
Should we name the instance also? Like this one?
Yes, yes, you have to instance.
My EBS.
Yes, it's better to this name, my EBS computer. You can click here and name it.
Okay.
You can click here and name it. No problem.
I want the code to run smoothly.
Okay. I think it's better to wait until I finish. After the recording, I will let you work and I will follow with you step by step. Okay? Okay, so here we will go to SSH access and copy this command. SSHI, this command you have to copy it, and paste it here. This is connecting to SSH from this terminal. We have here the public IP. You go to the instance back and then copy this public IP and then return back here and remove that tag and put instead the public IP. This is like, okay, SSH-I means you connect remotely using SSH using this key, okay? And you connect using the EC2 user to the instance with the public IP address 44.211 and 44.200, okay? Alaykum assalam. Now we press enter. It will ask you about ICDASA key, fingerprint, something. Okay, you say yes. Okay, if you see this logo, you know I'm happy now because I worried maybe it's blocked in HCD, but now it's okay. If you see this logo, okay, if you see this logo is like EC2. If you see it, okay, you succeed. We are now on the instance remotely. We can control the instance remotely. For example, you can use ls-l to check the files. You don't have any files. We will do some configuration for the volume, for the hard disk. We will format the hard disk. We'll do many things. But for now, I'm happy now because I can connect remotely to the instance. Okay, return back to the lab. This lab we covered. I will go with the lab step by step. The first thing is to create an instance. We created it already, and then create a new EBS volume. So how to create a new EBS volume? You go to the volumes, and create volume. And we have here many types of volumes, but make sure that you are going to use general purpose SSD. And if you want to read about all of these types, it's okay. You can Google and check. Each one has specific characteristics. So we generally select the first type. And then we take the size to be 1 giga. And then go down, and here is the most important and the most confusing step for the students, which is selecting the availability zone. Because if you don't know the availability zone, it's going to be a disaster for you. You will not continue this lab. So before continuing this, we have to return back to the instances. You can open the instances back and check the instance on which availability zone. شوف, you see, أنا أقول لك شوف بالعربي. DD مش A. يعني احنا كنا هنعمل فوليوم على A، نروح نبص عليه مش هنلاقيه، الانستنس مش شايفاه ولا هو شايف الانستنس ولا حد شايف التاني. ليه؟ لان ده على D والتاني كان على A، كنا هنغلط غلطة كبيرة. يبقى خلاص اوكي. If you want to create an instance you have to make it on D zone availability. It has to be, because this is a computer and you are putting like a hard drive in it. It's not logical to create a computer in Dubai and create it's a hard disk in Fujairah or Abu Dhabi. It's not logical. You have to make all of them in the same geographical location. So returning back to the volumes, we didn't create the volume yet, no problem. You go and select the first one, make this one, and which availability zone now?
D.
D. So we have to change this to D. Yeah, of course. يعني لازم تتشيك الموضوع ده. You have to check your instance is created on which availability zone. Make sure that it is created on, you are going to create the volume on the same availability zone. Otherwise, it will not work. You will not see anything. When you drop down list, any drop down list after that, you will not see anything. It's empty. And the other options, no need to change the other options. You just add tag and name this is my volume or my EBS volume. Sorry, you have to, sorry, this is name. The key is a name, and then the value is my EBS one. Okay. And create volume. We are ready to create the volume. Okay, we are ready to create that volume. Create a volume. Okay. We created the volume of 1 giga, and now it is time to go and configure this volume. We need to go and configure this volume. How to configure it? We want to format it. We want to add some files on it. Okay, so we have to do this from Linux. We have to do it remotely. We go here, and then I will check the hard drives. How to check the hard drives? We check the hard drives with df-h. If you check here, you will find the volume here. Oh, sorry. Oh, this is, yeah, I forgot a step, very important step, which is return back. Sorry, we return back, and we select the volume. We have created the volume. I'm happy now that we created the volume, but we didn't attach the volume to the instance. يعني أنا ما حطيتش الهارد ديسك جوه الانستنس، فالدنيا مش هتشتغل كده، فلازم تحط الفوليوم جوه الانستنس. هنعملها ازاي دي؟ You select the volume and then actions, and then you have to refresh, make sure that actions, yes, it's working now. Attach volume. So you know this is availability zone. If you don't have the availability zone, it will not give you this my EBS computer. If it is, for example, A, so the drop-down list will be empty. But now is displaying we have one instance on the availability zone D. So we select it. And this is the hard drive. This is the hard drive location on the Linux. If you want to reach it using Linux, you can use it dev SDF, and then attach the volume to the instance. I created the volume, I created the instance, I attached the volume to the instance. Okay, I'm ready now.
Did you rename it?
Rename what?
The device name?
No. The instance name, no. It's the same. No change. How to make sure that you attach the instance? You can go to the instance itself. You click on the storage and then go down. You will find we have only one. So you have to refresh and then select it and then click on the storage. Go down. Yes, we have two now. We have two volumes. We have the root volume and the created volume. The root volume is the default hard disk, and the created volume that we created and attached it to the instance. The root volume is 8 giga, and we created another one with 1 giga and attached it to the instance. Okay, now the challenging part. We go and format the hard disk. You go to the Learner Lab, and then again to check the hard drive's df-h. You will not see, actually you will not see, you will see here the 8 giga only. You will not see the 1 giga. We cannot see the 1 giga. Why we cannot see the 1 giga? Do you know? No, it's connected, but it has some problem. Not formatted. It is not formatted. Without formatting, it will not be appear in this list.
Not configured?
Yeah, not configured. It's not configured yet. You have to configure it, and then it will appear in this list. How to configure it? Why I can't see the cursor? Okay, so now we have to configure it. How to configure it? I write the name mkfs-t. This is formatting a hard drive, and the hard drive is located on dev. You can go if you see here, the hard drive location is here, dev sdf. Dev sdf. And sorry, we have also to write the format type, which is ext3. Okay, how to make sure of this? You can go to the lab and make sure that you are writing the correct command from here.
Victor, I'm running the command in the foundation service. Is it okay?
Foundation? The foundation? No. Sorry. Which? The other course? This one? You mean this one? This course? The foundation services?
A and F do you want? لأنه معقد شوي. I have the commands here. I'm using the commands here and I'm running it here.
Yeah,
but I'm not checking this one. I need to check this one?
No, just read the instructions. You don't need to check anything, but to the instructions. This is the lab instructions. So here -h, okay, we checked it. Okay, so extension 3 we have written, and okay, so we have to make sure that we have root privilege, so sudo. Okay, sudo mkfs and then -t, extension 3, and then dev df. And then enter. It will say done, 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 so it is done. The format is done. How to make sure the format is done? We can use df-h again and check if we can see. We still can't see it. We still can't see it. So, oh, okay. Why we can't see it? We didn't mount it. We have to mount it. So we create a folder, mk sudo mk, sorry, sudo mkdir to create a folder, and then the name of the folder.
MKSF, we do it?
We did it, okay. And it displays done, done, done. You see at the end we have done, 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 done. 4 dones. This means it formatted the hard drive, but we didn't mount the hard drive to a specific folder. In Linux, you created a folder, you created the hard drive, you have to mount it into a folder to be able to access it. We create a folder here, mnt, for example, and store data, store, and then enter. And then mount mount the hard drive, mount the hard drive named dev SDF to the folder MNT data store. And then enter. Yeah, so everything is fine now. df-h to check again. Yes, it appears now. You see, we have the 1 giga is about 975 mega, which is around 1 giga. And it is mounted to the location MNT data store. We have now, we have a drive, and we have the drive mounted to a specific folder. We can go to this folder. Whatever file we put on the folder will be on that drive. Whatever file we attach to the folder, it will be located on the drive. So we have to create an example. We can use the sudo. Let me remember the command. sh. No, I don't remember that. So I have to return back. sh something. No, echo. This one. But this one, sh-c. Yes, exactly. sh-c. This one. You can copy it and paste, but I prefer to write it the first time so that you get used to the commands. So the sh-c and write the command that you want to execute. Sh means shell. You want to execute a command, the shell. And write the command, which is echo. You echo some text to the location. So here you echo some text. For example, this is Osama's file. This is the text, and then you send this text by greater than this, sending it to MNT data store. Okay, make sure that the command is correct from here, and the name of the file. Don't forget the name of the file, which is file 1. File 1.txt. File 1.txt. Okay. So now it's going. The shell is going to execute this command, which is adding some text to the file name file 1 in this location, and then enter. Make sure that you have a privilege. So enter, and now we can go to the location MNT data store and ls, and you will find the file here. If you want to see what inside the file, يا شباب ركزوا معايا. ركز معايا يا شباب، ركزوا معايا. انتوا عاملين ملغوشين على الموضوع يعني. انا قلت لكم اهدوا وانا هعمل لكم كل حاجه. ما تستعجلوش، انا والله هعمل يعني هقف معاكم بعد البريك، هقف معاكم وامشي معاكم خطوه خطوه. اوكي؟ ركزوا بس معايا وافهموا الخطوات وخلاص. طيب يبقى فايل 1. اوكي؟ هنعمل كات لفايل 1. كات يعني نعرضه. فايل 1 .txt. You will find the text. This is Osama's text or Osama's file. This is okay. We can go to the file. We can reach the file. We can open the file and see what's inside it. Okay. Now we created the file. Now we created a volume. We formatted the volume. We mounted the volume, and we created a file, and we opened the file to check its content. We have done many things. So now we go to the lab itself and see what's next. Okay, so we create an Amazon EBS snapshot. Now we go to the Amazon and we create a snapshot. Why we create a snapshot? Because we want to make a backup of our data. I have a file, and the file has secret data. The file I have created, file number 1, file 1.txt, Suppose this file is a secret file, and I want to keep it. I want to make sure that it's kept, is not deleted by accident or something. So I have to go to the snapshots, or I prefer to go to the volumes and then select the volume and then actions and create a snapshot. I think, okay, wait. Create a snapshot. Create a snapshot. Okay, yes. So it will create a snapshot of this volume. So I add no need to add a description. The most important thing to add a tag and name it name and my EBS snapshot. You create the snapshot, okay, and make sure to go to the snapshots to the left-hand side and make sure that you have created the snapshot here. This is our snapshot, and it's pending. It's pending. Okay. Refresh. Until
9%.
huh?
Unavailable 9%.
Available.
Unavailable 9%.
Where you see it. بتشوف الرسالة دي فين؟
كليك على هذا تشيك هينزل تحت.
No problem. It's pending.
حتى حاطه لي فوق نفس الكلام.
Yeah, it's pending. Yeah, completed now. So if you select it, it will be available 100. Is searching for physical resources. Searching for physical resources until it found the suitable physical resource and attach it. Okay, now we have our data. I'm confident that my data will not be lost. So I can make an action now to remove this file. Suppose I removed the file. So rm file1.txt. Are you sure that you want to remove the file? Yes. Permission denied because you didn't use sudo.
Will we delete it?
Yeah. And make sure that it is not there anymore. Yes, it is not there anymore. You cannot reach it. Your data is lost. Okay? The last step of the lab is to create another volume from the snapshot to make sure to return back your data. Okay? I deleted a file and the file, but I'm confident that my data is not lost because I created a snapshot. So I can go to the snapshots here, from here, go to the snapshots, refresh them. This is my snapshot. Click on it, select it, and then from actions, create a volume from a snapshot. The first one, create a volume from a snapshot. It will by default select the same availability zone, but not the same availability zone. It should be by default, but anyway, the default size will be the same size of the volume because you are creating a volume from the snapshot, so it will be the same volume that you have created because the snapshot is taken from a volume and it has a specific size, so the size will be selected by default, but actually the availability zone will not be correct, so you have to select the correct availability zone. Now we go to the tag and name it my restored volume. My restored volume. And then create that volume. So if you go to the volumes and refresh again, you have the my restored volume. You have the my restored volume. but you select it to make sure that which location is put. For example, you select which location is not located in any place. So we are missing something. Do you know? This one.
Instance.
Yeah, you have to attach this volume to an instance. So we have to select it, and from actions, attach volume, and then go to the availability zone D. You will find my EBS computer. But make sure you see the drive location is different. It's SDG, not SDF. So SDG, and attach the volume. Anyway, you can know this one at any time, no problem. Don't worry. If you forget SDG, you can find it here. So I attached my volume now. So my restored volume, check it, and it is attached, and now it is in div SDG. How to make sure it is created and attached to the instance? You go to the instances and select the instance, refresh, and select the instance again, and go to the storage. You will find we have three volumes. We have the root volume, we have 2 extra volumes, and the locations are here. If you're confused and you forgot about them, you can come here at any time and see the corresponding device name. Now I want to restore my data. I want to see if my data is there. I want to see my data is there or not, my file, the deleted file. So what I'm going to do is going to the Learner Lab again, and from the terminal, I'm checking DF. No need to check DF. You can immediately create a new folder, mkdir, name it MNT, and data store 1, and mount. I want to mount the new folder, the new volume. I don't need to format it because it is a snapshot, and the snapshot is an image of something. So it is already formatted. No need to format it. So mount it, div s sd what? SDG. And in MNT data store 1. Sorry, 1. Okay, and enter. So it's mounted. You can make sure that it is mounted and appear from df-h, and press enter. You will see that we have the volume here. هجيلك والله واحد واحد. Okay, the last thing is to open this location. Open this location and see what's inside it. So you cd to MNT and data store 1, and then enter, and then ls. Check, we have the file here. And make sure that the file contains the text that you want. So you cat this file for txt and make sure that it contains the data that you have. So we restored our data. And this was the last step of the lab. This was the last step of the lab. So we created a volume. We attached that volume to an instance. After we created and formatted and did everything, we created a file and attached or added this file to the volume, and we deleted that file. We taken a snapshot before, so we restored our file from the snapshot. Okay, it's very straightforward. If you know, just go one step, you go to the Linux one time, you will get used to it. Okay. So now we will take a break, and after the break, I will let you do the lab from